Hi, and happy first day of coping with the holidays. I think that I have shared a couple weeks ago that I wanted to do a 12 days of coping for the holidays, and this is for all those moments where the holidays don't feel as cheerful and happy and joyful as we would like them to be. And to help us all out with this, I am joining you live from Hawaii. And so, in due context of being in this warm place, I thought that it would really be nice to talk about seasonal affective syndrome and how we can cope with that, especially when we're living in a place that is not that seasonally cheerful, such as all of my friends out there on the East Coast and in Washington, D.C., where it's not very warm. So the first thing to cope with seasonal affective syndrome, and that's, the cold weather, the short days, the shorter days and the darker days, is to be able to get out into the sunlight. So even though it may not be that warm outside, just even a few minutes, like five minutes, if you can get out into the sun and actually just feel the sun on your face, on your body, get that vitamin D, can make a really big difference when we have colder days. So being out in the sun is number one. And number two, if you have access to like a sauna or any kind of warm spaces, try to get into those. Those actually are really great to give your body a little bit of warmth. And to eat more kind of like oily foods, warm soups, that, hey Dan, that can kind of help lubricate the body, which is really good in times when the temperature is really dry and cold. And so we've got be out in the sun, we've got lubricate the body with oils, and actually eating foods that might have a little bit more oil, a little bit more kind of unctuousness, as one of my teachers, Jess Lazar, used to call it. Hey Caroline. So this is the 12 days of coping, and this is day number one, joining you from Hawaii. And we're talking about how to cope with seasonal affective syndrome. So if any of you watching have some ideas, hey Doug, please share them. This is about how to cope with seasonal affective syndrome. And that again is the shorter days, the colder days, not as much sunlight as we normally get. So I've heard some good things about those little lamps that you can get that kind of give you the UV rays, a sun lamp. I actually have one in my office now. So those are really great too, to give you a little bit more light, especially when the days are colder. And since I'm in Hawaii, I wanted to share the idea of vacation mindset. So I really think vacation mindset is really great when we are in the middle of the winter. And so there's some ways that we can do, or we can have vacation mindset, and we can cultivate it even when we are not on a vacation. And so one of those ways is by actually, unhabituating your lifestyle. So, don't go to work the same way, don't choose the same route to go to the grocery store, don't go to the same restaurants that you always go to. So find a way to kind of break your habit of your daily life. And then the other thing is, just like when you are on vacation, you want to try out new things. You might look at what restaurants are around that you haven't checked out, or you might look at the local newspaper or look online to see what local events are happening that you would be interested in doing. So you can always find those, and DC is a great place. But I know even Cincinnati, for those of you joining me in Cincinnati, the last time I was home in Cincinnati, I checked out the local listings for what was going on in Cincinnati, and there was actually a lot. So check out, what's going on, and kind of try to do something new and exciting as part of your social life, the same as you would do as if you were on vacation. The third thing you can actually give yourself a staycation. So unplug from technology, take some time to just stay at home and actually get some R&R as if you were actually on a vacation. And the third thing that I would say is that when we're living in a cold climate, our body also tends to kind of like go, like, I don't know if you can see because I'm holding my phone right now, but you kind of start to, like, you know, sink down in your shoulders, sink down, close it in your chest because you're actually like cold. So you start to kind of scrunch up a little bit like this. And so this posture is actually the posture of depression when we close in like this. And so actually, like, making an effort, maybe when it's not so cold, or noticing that sometimes we just do this, it's just a reaction that our body has. But so trying to make an effort to stand up a little bit tall, open up the heart space, and that actually can uplift your mood sometimes. Opening the heart space can lift mood, as when closing the heart space and kind of hugging into yourself can depress the mood. So trying to do little postural changes to lift your mood up when the seasons are bringing you down. Let me think. Plan a trip. You may not need to go to Hawaii, or you may not even go very far, but just planning a trip, even to like get away, you know, a short little drive away, a short weekend trip, is a really good one too. And then last is that I think when the days are shorter, we all want to go inside the house very soon and very quickly, you know, after the day ends, and we may not want to go out on the weekends, but kind of push yourself to have a balance of staying inside and being social, connecting with friends. And oh yeah, this is my last one. One of my favorite things, and I did this with my good friend Dahlia and my friend Jonathan and Sana a few years ago, we used to have these supper clubs. And supper clubs are great for seasonal affective season because we get to share time eating with friends. So when normally you eat and it's just like, oh, like you're eating by yourself, you're cooking by yourself, and you're just kind of like, it's just something that you do, you zap the enjoyment out of eating and out of sharing and communing with people around food. So, you know, get together with friends, maybe plan one night a week where one person cooks, and we did it where we would alternate, you know, once a week a different person would cook, and we would go to their house, we would potluck it sometimes, hey Heather. So sharing food with friends is also a way to bring the vacation state of mind into your day-to-day living. So I would love to hear which one of these you try. I'll be back tomorrow with day 2 of coping with the holidays, and I'm going to be joined tomorrow with Allie Cherry, who's going to be talking us about laughter as humor and laughter as coping. So I'll look forward to seeing you all again tomorrow, and until then, aloha and mahalo.